Okay, we are now being recorded, everyone. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, so welcome to Canvas Hacks. I'm just going to go over a few things that I've learned that are just kind of tricks that will kind of help make your canvassing a little smoother. And this is our little agenda today. We're going to go over each of these sections. After each section, I will take a break and I'll answer any questions that you might have. You can either put them in the chat or you can unmute yourself and ask questions at that time. If you have a question that's not about any of these sections, wait till the end and I will do my best to answer it as well as I can. I'm not the expert in Canvas, but I have been playing around with this for quite a while, and I've been trying to get as much research and as possible just to make my life easier, and I wanted to just share this with everybody so you can find a way to just, again, make everything easier. So I'm going to exit out of this screen. So, let me just go over it. We're going to go over how students log in, how to edit a PDF, something called Google Cloud Assignments, importing courses, homeroom course and linking, changing the name of your courses, and then I'm going to show you Canvas Campout, which I sent that link out today, but I just want to make sure everybody has that. So first thing is student login. So I'm going to share my screen again. Oh, maybe it was this one. Okay. Nope. Let me exit. Exit. Here we go. All right. So if you don't know, Claire Cummings, Sean Kilmurray, and I are your Canvas admins. And so if you have any questions, you can always shoot one of us an email or text us if you have our number or whatever is easiest. Claire and I have been really playing around with Canvas a lot, and we're trying to be proactive and troubleshoot things that you might encounter over the next few weeks. The first one is student login. This is how the students are going to log in, and this is how the district wants them to log in. Students are going to want to go to clever.ccsd.net. Now, if they're on a Chromebook, they're going to log in with their Google anyway, and then they just need to go to Clever, and boom, they're done. But if they're on a laptop or on a desktop or something that's not Chrome-based, like a Chromebook, they will have to go to clever.ccsd.net. They want to select login with Google. And this is what it looks like. This is the Clever home screen. And I know last year I taught my kids, press the big C and they could log in. But now they're just going to press in that middle button, Google, login with Google. And if they're on a Chromebook, it will take them right into Clever. And they're good to go. But if they're not logged in with Google, they'll use, this is their Google email address. It's also called their person ID. So this is one of my students, for instance, it's part of their first name. This happens to be all her first name, dot with a student ID. This is not her student ID, sorry, it's her person number at nv.ccsd.net. And then their password is their year, month, day. So this girl was born June 21st, 2013. And so her password is 2013, 06 for June, 21 for the day. So that's how a student is going to log in. Now, as far as iPads go, Loretta, if the student logs in with Clever, they should be okay. And I believe there's a Clever app on iPads. I will double check that. Let me write myself a little note to talk to Derek about iPads. I haven't used iPads a whole lot. iPads, Clever app. But if they have the Clever app, it should be good to go. Clever app. All right. Of course, as soon as I want to use a pen, it's not working, right? That is Murphy's Law, right? Okay. Okay, so Clever app, and I will double check with that on iPads. So that's how students are going to be logging in. Now, Canvas is supposed to be our home base. That's how That's what the districts wants us using. They want parents going to Canvas and students going to Canvas and messaging everything through Canvas, and you can do that through the inbox. When students log into Clever, it'll look just the same like it did last year. They all did it last year to get into iReady. Now they just hit the Canvas button and they're in Canvas. I tested it yesterday with one of my students. I was able to, I was on a Chromebook, so I logged in with her information, and then I went to clever.com, selected login with Google, took me right into Clever. I was able to get on iReady and Canvas perfectly. They didn't have anything in iReady and Canvas yet, but those apps did come up. So that's how students are going to be logging in. Any questions on that part? Feel free to unmute yourself or type a question in the chat if you have questions about how students log in.
Is it case sensitive? I see Brielle's name is capital B.
You know, it is not case sensitive. I did notice that yesterday. If you go to Infinite Campus, it will have their first letter of their first name capitalized, but it didn't matter when I tried it. I did capitalize it, but then I noticed later when I tried it again, I didn't capitalize it and still went in just fine.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, that's a great question. All right, we're going to move along. I'm going to show you now how to edit a PDF. I know for me, I have a lot of PDFs out there, and they're easy for in-person learning because you just print them off and you're good to go, or you can share them on your smartboard and you can write on it and everything.
You're busy. But thank you.
Yes, Pamela, I'll be posting this. But with digital learning, it's a little more difficult. Now, there's two ways to do this, two ways that I have found. So I'm going to show you both ways. I'm going to first show you using Google Slides. And using Google Slides can be really helpful, especially if you want kids like moving and dragging boxes. I was making like a nouns review yesterday, and the review was color the backpack red, color the backpack orange if it's a person or a place. So I just made colored boxes so the kids just move the boxes, and because they can't color. So Google Slides work better that way. So let me show you how it works in Google Slides. So you want to go to your drive, and when you go to your drive, you select new, and you select Google Slides. It'll bring up a new Google slide. Now, it depends on the dimensions of your PDF. I just get rid of the themes over here. I don't need themes, so I just exit out. And I'm not going to need these text boxes either, so I just get rid of them. But my pages are usually 8.5 by 11, so I do need to change the size of this paper. So you go to File to do that. Scroll kind of almost to the bottom where it says Page Setup. Page Setup is where you can change the dimensions of that screen by going to Custom. And you would just change the dimensions. If you want it landscape, it would be 11 by 8.5. If it's portraits, 8.5 by 11. You just change the dimensions and hit apply, and it's going to go ahead and change those dimensions for you. Now, this is the tricky part. You will need to make all those PDFs into pictures. So all I did was just screenshotted them. I did have to crop some of them. I know some computers have like a screen cutting and feature already. So I made my PDF a picture because I don't want the kids to move the picture around. The actual PDF, I don't want them to touch that. I want them to be able to put stuff onto the PDF. So now I'm going to make a background. So you go right here where it says background, and I'm going to choose my image. I'm going to upload it from my computer, and mine was a screenshot. So I'm going to choose my file screenshot, and it was screenshot 7. Mine was that. I already wrote it down. I'm going to choose that screenshot of my PDF. And then I click done. And there's my PDF. I know the size is a little, not the best, but here's a little bit bigger for you. And maybe we'll go 50. So there's my PDF. Now, I want the kids to be able to write on this. So all you have to do is insert text boxes. The text box feature is right here. You could also go to insert text box, but there's a little shortcut right here. I'm going to insert a text box for their name. I'm going to insert a text box right here where they're going to type. Come on, insert. And I'm just going to insert text boxes anywhere I want the kids to type. I'm going to be telling my second graders that whenever they open up a document like this, that every time they see a question mark, you need to type something. So in all those text boxes, I'm just going to put a question mark. I'm probably going to make it a little bit bigger so they can see it. I might even bold it. You can even center that question mark if you wanted to. So there's your editable PDF now. You're going to want to save that. So this is summer sentences. This is a little review we're going to do with the second graders. I'll put a little question mark there. And what's really cool is you can also just, let me show you a shortcut. You can also just copy these text boxes. So I've already made a text box. So I select the text box, plus Control C for copy. And now I'm going to Control paste it. And now I can move it. Control paste again, Control V, and I can move it. Control V, that's pasting, and I can move it. So it really doesn't take a lot of time at all, especially if you're just doing the copying feature. And now I have text boxes everywhere I want students to be writing. So that's one way to make an editable PDF. What I was saying earlier was I had made a PDF for language, and this is where the using slides came in handy rather than using the next feature I'm going to show you, because here the kids are going to color every time it's a person, place, or thing. And here they're just going to move these text boxes to the different parts that match. So that's why using a Google slide can be really helpful. So that's the first way to make a PDF. I'm going to go ahead and stop for a moment. Any questions just on that part?
Yes, so you made the number of colored boxes that they were going to use and then just kind of
Put them right on
overlaid
top.
them?
Yep.
Okay.
You just copy them and put them right on top.
So then my other question is, when they use these forms, it's going to stay as an editable slide. So it's not like you can't change it and it stays that way and they can type into it if you just upload it into Canvas or Google Classroom.
The only thing they're going to be able to manipulate are the text boxes or moving those boxes. That's all they're going to be able to do.
Even if you save it so that it doesn't, so if it looks like a regular slide without the sidebar, they can still do it.
Oh, if it's in presentation mode, no. Presentation mode is a completely different thing. Yeah. So you're not going to want to tell the kids to go in presentation mode. Just stay in the mode that I showed you and they can easily move it. And I'm going to show you Google Cloud assignments in a few minutes where this can upload to Canvas, kids complete it in Canvas, kids submit it in Canvas, if you choose to use a Google slide. Now, the second way you can make an editable PDF is by using pdfescape.com. And pdfescape.com is really simple to use. Oops, I'm sharing the wrong screen. Sorry. I have a lot of screens up here. Okay, I'm trying to find out where I'm at. This is where I was at. Okay. So pdfescape.com, escape.com. It's a free, oops, I didn't type that in right. There it is. It is a free program to use. You can also, I think you can upgrade and stuff like that. I don't even log in. I don't think I've even signed up for PDF Escape. So you want to choose the free online version. So you click the red button. Your session timed out of activity. Thank you. Oops. Oh. Okay, maybe I do need to register. Let's see. I am sorry about that. Let's see. I played with this a little bit, so I'm going to sign in using Google. Here we go. I'll make this real quick. Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. So I guess I did sign up for it. So if I want to edit PDF files, you want to get to the screen where it says upload a PDF to PDF Escape. And then you choose your file. Let's see. I will go ahead and do this one again, the one I just showed you, the summer sentences. And it loads right into PDF Escape. With PDF Escape, you've got some choices here. If you want students to be able to write on this, you're going to want to press Form Field. This is what confused me a little bit. Now, you can either do just text or text paragraph. I choose text paragraph because then it makes it just a little bit bigger. Select. And now all you do is just click and drag a field. Click and drag a field. Click and drag a field. And you're making a field basically they're going to type into. I discovered this tool very recently and I'm very excited about it because I've been playing around with how to do this for weeks. Once you're done, this is where it's a little tricky. You can save it obviously to your account by pressing the little discs, if anybody remember those discs. But right here, the little green arrow that goes down, that is your save and download. So you press save and download. It's going to download to your computer. And then here it is in my downloads. And now you can type in it because I've created fields. And you have your PDF. So this is something you could upload for the kids to complete. So that's PDF Escape. Any questions on PDF Escape?
You know if there's a limited amount of PDFs that it lets you create?
I don't. I have not played around with it a whole lot.
Okay.
But thank you. I will keep testing that. So that's PDF Escape. Okay, any questions on editing a PDF?
Suman, I'm not going to totally ask you about that because I just got here. But you are recording this, correct?
Yes.
Okay, because apparently I was stupid in trying to go into tomorrow's the whole time.
It's all good. Okay.
I didn't see you had 2 days, so.
Yeah, tomorrow's just like a pop-in session if anybody has questions. Okay, so next is going to be Google Cloud assignments. So now that I've created this assignment for students to do in Google Slides, I want them to be able to complete this now. So there's a great external tool in Canvas. So when you're in Canvas, here's my dashboard to Canvas. So that was a language assignment. So I'm going to go into my language course because all my assignments that are graded are going to be here. I'm going to click on assignments. And notice I have uploaded a few already. Click new assignment or add assignment. And then give it a name. You can also give it directions. What's really awesome about Canvas is that you can audio and video or just audio record directions for your students. I've already done that. So you would go to user media and these are my instructions that I've already recorded. So this is my math practice. It's not gonna be true to this assignment, but you get the gist. Once you've recorded that in Canvas, you can use it anytime. You can use it multiple times. So these are, I don't think I can play it right now. I'll have to play it later. But these are instructions that I've given the students for how to complete this. You can also type the instructions down below. But here is where you're going to want to really pay attention to. I notice I've already done this because I've done this a lot, but when you go to submission type, you want to hit external tool. Then we're going to find the external tool we're going to use, and it's called Google Drive Cloud Assignment. This allows you to pull in documents from Google Drive to Canvas.
Thank God.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so what was that again? Google Drive what?
Cloud assignments.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's going to pull up your Google Drive. Now, here's a trick. I have put 3 stars in front of this Canvas label. When you put 3 stars in front of a label, it automatically puts it at the top. This also works in Gmail when you have folders or different folders. So I'm probably going to be using Canvas a lot. I've just named this Canvas because everything digital is just going to go in here just to help me stay organized. So you would open up the file that you want the students to use, and this is completely different, but here's my digital camping for adjectives. I'm going to submit it and then select. And then you've got other choices assigned to attempts. You can assign it points in a group and all that. That's pretty self-explanatory. But now you want to save it. Save and publish would just mean the kids now have access. Save means it's saved to your Canvas. Publish, it actually then will be available to students. So I'm going to save it. Now I can't show you the student side of this, but there is a video I will send that shows you the student side. But now I've created a Google Cloud assignment. And there it is. Now it's going to be a little tricky for the kids, and they're going to have to learn some navigation, which is going to be, a good tool for them. It's going to be a little small. They can complete it in here. They can make it bigger and try to complete it, or they can just open it up in a new tab. But whatever they do on this screen, there's going to be like a submit button up here for students. When they're finished, they just press submit and it's done. It's
Now,
done.
is that because you've made it available to them to work on the screen?
Yes.
And then
Yes.
it will get scored on the screen?
Yeah. So this is an assignment. So once students press submit, it's then going to go back to you. You're going to get a message that, okay, these students have completed this assignment, and that'll take you into your speed grader to grade it.
Okay.
And then
Do you have to connect it to Speed Grader?
No,
Or is it
assignments automatically go to Speed Grader. I haven't been able to play with Speed Grader a whole lot because I don't have any students yet, so it's a little more down the road. But from the video yesterday on Canvas, Speed Grader, and some that I've seen, the assignments just go directly to it when you open Speed Grader.
Hey, Suman, this is Claire. Can I jump in for a second?
Please do. Thank you, Claire.
This was actually just released this week by Google, or not this one, a new one. So I just wanted to mention that because this one I believe was made by Canvas, and it's a little hard, since it's a little harder for the kids to navigate. Google created their own. So if you can go back to the external tool, there's one called Google Assignments, and Google just launched it this week.
Thank you, Claire. We are learning every day.
Every day, yeah. And it's a little better, like the interface is better. Yeah, right there.
Okay.
They just put it in this week, and I think Canvas just announced it actually. So when it's just a better, it's easier for teachers and students to navigate because Google created it. So
thank you, Claire.
Instead of which one do we pick Google Assignments?
Instead of Google Cloud, you would pick the Google Assignments.
Okay.
But if you want to see it, you could show right now if you want. If you just link your account like that.
Okay.
It's because it's recognizing you have other accounts, so it's saying, is it this one we want?
Okay, this is brand new to me. So will I press attach here? Make a copy attached files for each of your students to edit and submit.
Oh, see, this happened. Are you sharing? Did you hit link already?
Yes.
Oh, okay. This happened to me when I was making the video. We can't see anything. We can only see link right now. So I'm sorry.
Okay. So
Because it becomes its own pop-up.
So you guys
becomes
can't
its own screen.
see my
Yeah.
pop-ups. Okay,
Yeah.
so what happened, everybody, was I hit link and another pop-up screen came. And this is the pop-up screen I'm looking at now. The pop-up screen is asking me, it says create a Google Cloud assignment. It gives me an option to check for plagiarism. We're not going to worry about that. But then it gives me an option that says files. And I have to attach the file. I have to press attach. It opens up my Google Drive. I attach the file.
So
I can
very
give it
similar.
a point. I can give it a point value. I can give it a due date. I can give it a rubric. So that's what I'm seeing right now. Now I'm playing around with this. You can go around and play around with this and it's not going to mess with your Canvas at all. So I'm going to now press create and it's saving my details. It's telling me not to close my window. So it must have created it. Now I'm going to hit select. And let's see what happened.
Let's see what it looks like on your end. I believe it eliminates the need for speed grader because you'll actually grade within here and then it'll connect right into your grade book.
So
it takes a minute.
Oh,
there
okay.
It is. Yeah.
Okay, here it is.
So it'll show you all the kids that have submitted it and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then you grade it right in here.
Okay. And what do the students see? That's my question. They're probably going to see like a little link.
Yeah, it looks just like Google Classroom actually. They'll see like here's your assignment. They click it and then they do it and they hit submit.
Okay. Okay, so this is new as of this week. So thank you so much, Claire.
Yeah, sorry.
No, thank you.
So the other one takes you out of Canvas?
Google Cloud.
Yes.
Both of them are embedded, but you could see how that view was kind of difficult for the kids.
Right.
And the first one, this one, when they click the assignment, it will pull up into another tab, but they'll have Canvas still up there.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah, so it'll come up in another tab, like a Google slide. They'll do it, and then they go back to their Canvas and hit submit.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Claire. This is why I love working with all of you because all of our ideas, all of us working together, we're going to make this work.
Is it making a copy, Suman, where it's not?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. This is making a copy for each student. This is our workaround. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So this is putting a copy in each student's file.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
This is making a copy. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, okay.
Mm-hmm. And I had a question about how much time do you play around? Well, however much time you want to spend on playing around. I've played around with Canvas a lot. Just so I can get better with it. So, you know, when I do start teaching, everything hopefully runs smoothly. So you can play around.
Much as you can feasibly deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. You can play around as much as you want. So now this is in my Canvas. If you go to my assignments, it's there. Now I don't ever have to use this. I never have to publish it. I can delete it. And I can continue playing around with this even more if I wanted to. That's kind of the beauty of Canvas is it truly is just a blank slate. And if you don't like what you did, delete it, change it, do something different. So that's Google. What was that called again, Claire, please?
Google Assignments.
Google Assignments.
Okay, Google Assignments. Okay.
Yeah,
Claire.
I know it's just crazy that it just came out this week, but I was like, it's definitely works better than the other ones. So I want to
Thank you very much. So Google Assignments, external tool, that's what you're going to want to use. Okay. Any questions on that? We're going to move on to now importing course content. Okay, so you've created a workroom and you've put all your stuff in there. Now you want to actually move it to courses. Claire's going to talk about this in a few minutes, and I'm just going to kind of give you a brief overview of what I've done. I'm working with littles, so I'm working with second graders, so I'm trying to think like a second grader as much as I can. If you teach fourth and fifth grade, it might be completely different. Personally, I want all my students to go home. And my little motto this year is there's no place like home. We're going to all be Dorothy and click our little silver shoes. And I want them to go home. So I've made my speaking and listening my home base. That's where my students will go. What I've done is if my kids end up in language, if they navigate here, this is all they're going to see. That's it. That's all they're going to see.
Okay.
And so I'm going to say,
they both go back home?
and then I'm going to say, click the home button, and it's going to take them back home. This is my home. So let me show you how to now import content. So that's what I was doing earlier. So I've imported this page. I made it once. I made that page once. And now I'm going to import it into another course. Anything that you create in one course, you can import into another course. Anything you create, you can also share with anybody in our school. I don't even know if you could share it with the whole district. You might be able to. I don't know. Canvas Commons is where you can share it with the world. So any page, anything you create can be shared and copied over. Now I've already copied that home page I just showed you into all my courses, but I haven't copied it into my writing course yet. So I'm going to go into my writing course here. And in my writing course, there's absolutely nothing. There's nothing in here. So I want to put some content that I've already created. I don't want to make it again into my writing course. So over to the right, it says import existing content.
Where'd
You're
you
going to
find?
press that. So I'm in the writing course. I'm in where I want stuff to go into. Now you're going to get a selection, the content type. 95% of the time, it's going to be copy a Canvas course. That's probably what you're going to use a good majority of the time. Don't let that fool you. You can still just copy one page because one of the selections. You're going to search for a course. Home. Miss Dewan's homeroom. So I clicked on that because that's the course I want to copy from. Yours will probably say workroom. I've already changed the name of mine. Now here is where you can either copy the entire course, everything you've created, or just select specific content. So I'm just going to select specific content. Actually, no, I created this in my math. Sorry, I created this in my math course. Sorry, I got to remember. Yeah, it was from math. Everybody for the whole school pulls up for me. I think that's because I'm an admin. Anyway, so I want to select my math course. I'm going to select specific content, and I press now import. Over here, there's a blue button to the right that says select content. I'm going to press that button. And now it's going to give me all the choices I have from that course. I've made 3 assignments, 1 page, and I have 6 files. But I want a page, so I'm going to click on the little arrow to the right. Don't click any boxes. Boxes select. And I want that home page that I made. So now I'm going to click the box to select that. That's the only page I want to copy into my writing course. So now once I have selected everything I want to copy over, just select content. And it's going to take a couple seconds. It's going to do this like little running thing. It's now completed. So it is now completed. I go to my pages just to make sure it is. And there it is. It's in my pages. So now I want to make this my home page. Notice I've already made it my front page. To make any page a front page, click the snowman to the right, the 3 dots. And all you do is use as front page. Select use as front page, and now that's going to be your front page. But you do have to select it as your home page. So notice if my students were to go into writing, they're going to see absolutely nothing. So now I need a home page. So over to the right, choose home page, pages front page, which I just selected, and click save. And there's my front page. There's my home page. So when students go into writing, they're going to immediately, if they get lost in writing, they have to find their way home. They're going to click home, and it's going to take them directly to my home screen. This is what students will see every time they click on the homeroom.
What else do you have in that homeroom though? That as far as anything else that just that, and then click, what else is on the click below?
Oh, I'll show you that all later. This is,
Okay.
yeah. That's very similar to what I showed you a couple weeks ago, but this is how to
Okay.
import a course. Do you want me to go over that again?
Please,
How to import a course? Okay.
just the directions.
Yes. So now I'm going to import into my social studies course. I will need to publish my writing course if I want the students to be able to see it. You can't publish, however, if you don't have any pages or anything, content basically in. So if I try to publish my social studies, I'm going to get an error message because I don't have anything in my social studies. But I can publish now my writing because I just put a page in there. It just needs one page. And now it's a published course. Okay, so let me show you how to import again. Click the course you want content to go into. Select import existing content. Select copy a Canvas course.
And it always has to be that one copy of Canvas course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what any of these others are.
Okay.
Nah, Canvas course export package. That
Okay.
sounds a little too much. So I had made that page in my mathematics
Okay.
course. That's where I started it. I just want specific content to copy over. So I'm going to select that. If you want the entire course to copy over, you can do that too. So if you've made your workroom and you want to copy it into your homeroom, you can do that. You're going to get a little button to select the content. Choose the content you want to select over. Remember, when you click on a box, that is selecting. And then once you have what you want as a selection, select content, give it a couple of seconds to run, and then you can test it out. It's completed. I'm still in my social studies course here, so I go to pages to see if it's there. And there it is. It's my front page. So now I'm going to go back home. Home page is basically when the students enter that course, that's what they're going to see. So I'm going to choose a home page, and I want it to be my page's front page. And there it is.
And then you have that front page at the beginning of every course.
Yes. So Claire's going to go into this a little bit now about homerooms and linkings. But yes, so if my littles get lost, go home. Click home. It's going to take them right back where they should be. This is going to be our home base. This is where we're going to start out every day. And this is where we're going to navigate all of our assignments from.
Okay.
Can you kind of show that idea, Suman? So let's say it's like math time, or, you know, what are they going to do here in your homeroom, just so people see that as an idea?
Sure. Okay, so this is my homeroom, and I've named it Ms. Dewan's homeroom. So I think it's going to be easiest. Everyone's going to be different, but I've created a calendar. So they are going to click the day of the week that's current. So let's say it's Wednesday, August 26th. They're going to click Wednesday, August 26th. It's going to then take them, oops, I haven't linked this yet. Sorry, guys. I haven't done any linking yet.
Sorry, that was my fault.
Over. No, that's not your fault at all. It's totally fine. Let me show you what's going to happen. I just recently copied my workroom into my homeroom, and I just realized I haven't done any linking, but I have created my modules. So when they press on that, it's going to open up this module right here, August 26, 2020. And this is going to be our Wednesday playlist. This is going to be our Wednesday work. And
wow.
I'm going to teach them to click on Wednesday. And what I like about modules, you don't have to use modules if you don't want to, but this is all the advice I've seen, is there's a next button. Now, we've been playing around with Canvas the past few weeks with all those trainings, and we get all those next buttons. They created all those trainings and modules because it's just next, next, next. Now you're done for the day. So I think this will be easiest for them. So this is basically what our day is going to look like. The first thing we're going to do is going to be live with me. We're going to do some reading, and they click this button. It's going to take them to the Google Meet. I'll show you that. It just loads the Google Meet that I've already created. Obviously, we can't go into it yet because it's not ready, but it's just going to take them there. It's going to open a separate tab. These kids are going to have several tabs open, so I might know it's going to be a little harder for the younger ones. They'll eventually get it, but once they're done with that, it's just going to go next, next, next. On this day particular, they're going to do some iReady, and they click this button. They're going to probably already be logged into Clever, so it's just going to bring up that Clever tab again. That's all it's going to do, and they can get into iReady and do their 15 minutes. And then it's just, this is just progressing through our day. We're going into writing, and again, the Google Meet link. So I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for young ones. And here's our language activity. And this is what Claire's going to talk a little bit about, but our language activity, I've linked that now to the language homepage or language. And oops, I need to fix that link. I didn't do that link correctly, but it's going to take them to that language activity.
So yeah, you want to talk about kind of how things are housed, I guess?
Yes.
Okay.
I can stop sharing if you'd like.
Oh, no, that's fine. You can keep
Okay.
it up.
Okay.
So, and I think we've tried to make, I don't know if we've said this yet, but so your kids are in each of those courses, and it's tied to the Canvas gradebook, but also the Infinite Campus gradebook. So we've kind of thought that building your assignments that you want graded and going to these different gradebooks, it's probably best to build them in those different course tabs or course cards, so that they're kind of there and we know they're connected up to Infinite Campus. But as you saw with Sue in there, she's building everything out for the students to navigate in one home course, but you're able to link to those assignments in the other subject areas so that it stays in the grade book that it's supposed to go in. Because if she were to create a assignment in that home section that we just saw, it would go up to speaking and listening, because she is using speaking and listening as her home base, because you have all those different courses. So you want to pick one like speaking. We said either speaking and listening or health, ones that we don't put a lot of grades in usually for, although in the younger grades you might actually do. I don't know if you do more speaking and listening grades than we do in the upper. So we've asked the district to create a homeroom for us in elementary, and they're not hearing us. So the best option if you want to do a homeroom situation like Suman did here is to use either speaking, listening, or health and kind of just rename it as homeroom. But any assignments you put into that course will then go up to IC in that course. So if you're using health as your home base and you make an assignment in health and give it to the kids for math, it's going to go to the health grade book. So that's where we say any assignments you're making, you want to put them in the different courses. So, and then you can link to it, and we can show you how to link to it. It's just basically the URL for that assignment, the web address at the top. But in the older grades, 3 through 5, you might want to build all your content in each of the course cards, because 3 through 5 could probably navigate to those different subject areas. You could just tell them you start in reading every day. Okay, now it's time for math, go click the math course. Now it's time for science, go click the science course. So it's kind of up to you what you feel comfortable with, if you want to do one home base and link to these other courses, or if you want to have your students know their schedule and they just navigate to the different courses. Specials will also show up on their end as well. So they're going to have all of us, how many are 5 of us, they're going to have 5 other courses in addition to yours on their dashboard for each of us. So I made a little picture that says coding with a keyboard, so they know that's coding. So that's kind of how it's working. I hope that makes sense. Does anyone have any questions about that part of it?
Okay, so
sorry, how did you guys change the names and stuff? Like it says there's no place like home in place of speaking and listening. How do we change those titles as well as import the pictures like that?
So Claire, Sean, and I can change the titles for you. We can either change the top one, the bottom one, or both. Just email us and let us know what course you would like to be changed and what name you would like it be changed to. So that's an admin thing. So for instance, like when I go in to your course, it would say law, or it would say language 2 law, and then language 2 law. And so I can either change the top or the bottom one. So just let us know. As far as the picture goes, when you go into that course, all the way at the bottom, you want to go to settings. And then the very first page that come up, the course details, you press the little 3 snowman and you can choose an image.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And then all those pictures that are there, Claire sent us those
Yes.
in the drive. And you can
Yes.
save those specifically, and you can just save each one of those, the language, the math, the reading.
Mm-hmm.
You can save each one of those specifically separate
Mm-hmm.
and put those in. Tori, I did it, so I can do it, Tori. You can do this.
I gotta find where Claire sent where they're all.
I think it was in the
Believe me.
daily tech tips.
I sent a picture to Claire, and I'm like, yeah, I did it.
Suman, did you turn off your color overlays? Because when I changed my images, maybe that was just something I mind. So over next to all courses, the 3 snowmen by there, up at the top.
Yes.
Yeah, the snowman there. Yeah. So mine had this color overlay on it, and it was making all of my pictures different colors. Yeah. So if kids have that or you have that, that's how you turn that off.
Yeah, I don't know why they have that. That's like the.
I was like, oh, now my pictures look weird. So I think it might. Hopefully, it's not the default for the kids, but if they want to change that, you could tell them on the first day.
Okay. The only question I had then, for either one of you, is you're saying don't make a separate homeroom workroom. Actually use your speaking and listening. Don't make like a 10th course, because I see we got published 9 courses or whatever up there on your desk. So
well,
you've
and
got-
your workroom is only for you to play with and to take content and put into these live courses. Even if you publish your workroom, no students are attached to it at all. So no one will ever see your workroom. So you're just making the content in there, and then you're going to import it up like Suman showed.
Okay, so the only place, so in other words, like I'll have to have Suman or you change it to like what she says, Mrs. Dewan's homeroom for the speaking and listening.
Yeah, if you want to do a homeroom kind of navigation.
I like that because of 3rd graders, I think that might be a great kind of going back and forth. I like the idea of that. That's a good idea.
Sumi, can you make a note to change my speaking and listening to a homeroom, please?
Of course.
Yeah, me too. Dear.
As long as homeroom is fine.
Yeah, Mrs. Espinoza's homeroom, same thing.
I'll
Miss
take care of
Bratlin's
that today.
homeroom.
H. Bratlin.
H. Bratlin.
Okay. All
You
right.
could just do mine too, Sumi, and S. Bratland.
And S.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Of course.
Sorry, I didn't mean to add like a bunch of work for you right now.
It's all good, everybody. It's all good.
And then if you ever, I mean, we do couple speaking and listening grades usually. So when you do those, just I'm sure you get it now, but they go in that one. They'll go in your homeroom one. So any speaking and listening assignments you would give. But again, you can always manually enter stuff in IC too now. So this is kind of like for ease, but I mean, there's some grade levels that are doing everything in Google Classroom, and they're going to be manually entering everything in IC. So, it's kind of up to you and what you want to do and your workload.
I hope this is not a silly question, but like in kindergarten, we don't grade assignments. So we would only put a grade for like if it's formative, but daily assignments, we've just never graded. So it's just our formative and summative assessments that we can put in there, right?
Yes. It's the same with second. We don't use any of the stuff too. I mean, we have to still discuss all that and how we're going to be doing all this, but yes.
That's what we were wondering too, because we just use the summative grade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you might not even use the assignments tool maybe ever, maybe you'll just be assigning things. Like for me, I'm doing a lot of pages and they're going over to Seesaw, and then I'm going to look at their work in Seesaw and put in grades, so it's kind of, it is a tool really meant for older students who can like they can understand, oh, this is an assignment, and I submit it, and we're hacking it for little kids. So it'll probably just be what we always do in entering things manually, which is, I think, not a huge change. So
I was going to ask if we had to have assignments, because I wasn't planning on assigning any assignments, because then I would get moms doing art projects, which I got for yearbook submissions. I asked kindergartners, did you do this or did mom do it? And they fessed up and said, my mom did it. And I was like, yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, you're probably
But
better off
nice
doing,
try.
yeah, I think Seesaw would be great, because then you could see the picture of them or watch them drawing it, so yeah.
So do we need to download Seesaw
Okay.
then?
No, it's just a website, and actually I think we're not going to get the paid version, which really won't be too bad because there's only a couple extra features on the paid one, or like a school-wide. There's not enough interest school-wide, yes, for it. But the free one is actually really great. And maybe Shannon, I don't want to put you on the spot, but she used it last year and loved it. So if you want to talk a little bit about the benefits of Seesaw.
Okay, so Seesaw is two things. We can't use it for the communication with parents, but you can sign up, and basically is if you can create assignments in there. I have never actually created one in there, but they have a whole database of assignments for your grade level. So you can go in and you can search. You have to load your kids in, and I can help you with any of that too. But you load your kids in, and then you go into assignments or activities. And let's say I'm teaching doubles in math, and I want to assign them an activity in there. So I click on it. I can assign it to certain kids. I can assign it to all kids. And then they do the activity. And then it's really cool. What I love about Seesaw is they can record themselves explaining what they did. They can write right on there. Sometimes it's movable. There's text boxes you can put on there, and they can type in a text box. There's so many different things they can do with it. And then they record themselves explaining it or talking about their assignment, and then they send it to you. They submit it to you. You check it, and then you can submit it to parents as well on their it's kind of like, it ends up kind of looking like Facebook sort of. So they've got their, their feed? That's the word. So they've got their feed, and their parents can go in there and like it and stuff like that. And so their parents are able to listen to them. They wrote stories last year, and then they recorded themselves writing their stories. They read books and recorded themselves writing books. I mean, I use it a lot for stations. I didn't use it for distance learning because I hadn't set my kids up with that yet. So I was like, if I had set them up, I just had them doing it in class, then I could have used it last March and April. But it really is a great tool. But
Okay.
Yeah, and probably the best, if a lot of us are going to use it this year, it probably would be best to have them hit sign in with Google and then give them the class code to enter, because then if they're signed up with Google, when they sign in with any specialist or anyone, they'll just get our class code. And I believe they can toggle between the teachers. So they can go to Miss Cummings, Miss Bratland, because I think me and Kim were both interested in using it too. So that'll be cool to have them using it throughout the school. So.
Okay, as long as someone can explain what you just said. So
Yeah. If you want, I can make a video of kind of how it works and send it out.
yeah, as long as you can explain that code thing.
Please do. Thank you, Claire.
I was going to say something. I lost it. Sorry.
I've done that 4 times today. Like, my brain is full.
You people are all way too young to do that. Do not do that. I qualify for that. None of you qualify. You're all too young.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so when you were showing us the next button and how we are clicking next when we do our trainings, for my class, I want them to come to like the stop You know what I mean? Like, I don't want them to keep on clicking next when I haven't taught it yet. So will it stop them? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if all of my assignments are on there and they can click next, you know, for each assignment, I want them to be able to stop at, when we're done with writing, I want you to stop and work independently and then come back and join me for math. So will we be able to do it like that, or do
You'll,
they
ha-
have to
you'll
go?
have to create a page that says
Okay.
stop for them and
Okay.
just train them on that. You're good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you notice with our trainings, like even when you click next and you are at the end of a module, it would take you right to the next module. You can lock modules and so they only open on a certain day and time, or there's a prerequisite to complete it beforehand, complete like the next previous day. But I would, if that's your worry with your kids, then just put in a stop sign and say, stop, you know, and maybe put a little work on independent work now. That's what you're doing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Thank
just train them. It's going to take a while to train these kids on like how you're going to teach and what your method is. And so, because everyone's going to do it a little different.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Any, yes.
I just had a question kind of regarding what Tina just said. I saw on your assignments that you had something that said prerequisite.
Mm-hmm.
So you can set up the assignments so that they have to do the day before and have a prerequisite on it. Do you set up the assignment and then put it in there and they have to complete that?
So I did that with modules.
Oh, with modules.
Yeah. So let me show you. So in my homeroom here, I'm using modules to teach with. So when you go to modules, over at the very top, so the modules is kind of like a light blue because that's like the module name. So you want to click the snowmen to the right.
Okay.
And when you go to edit it, and you can do this when you create the module as well, you can lock this module until a certain day and time. So that doesn't open until then. And then the prerequisite, they would have to finish August 25th first.
Aha. Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't think this is too important for me right now, the first few weeks, but once we start getting a little more meaty, it's going to be really important. I sent out an email today about Canvas Campout. This is a hyperdoc. A lot of people go, how do I sign up for this? You don't sign up for it. You just click part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, or 6. So you click one of the parts, it's going to take you to another hyperdoc. This is a great document that these teachers, I have to give a shout out to Carrie Gardner and Lindsay Hallett. They have made this, and it is absolutely amazing. If you have a question about classic quizzes and new quizzes, if you have a question about module, here's a video, and then it will take you to a document as well. This is a really great source. If you have questions about anything, part 1 is just, a lot of, finding your way around Canvas. And these videos are very short. And if you just search through these documents, you will probably get a lot of your questions answered. So that's a very good tool, Canvas Campout. And if you haven't checked out Canvas for Littles on Facebook, she's amazing. She's adding a video per week almost. So every time I go on there, she's got a new video up, but she explains how to use Canvas for younger grades very well. So I highly suggest you watch her videos. Her videos are really short also. Some of them are a little bit longer if it's a more meatier topic, but she's got some great stuff out there as well. I will make myself available tomorrow from 1 to 2. Yeah, 1 to 2. And just pop in anytime during that hour and I can help you with your Canvas. You can share your screen, I can share my screen, and we can help each other out. I do have a go-ahead from King to do an in-person Canvas help session on Monday from 12 to 2. We can't have very many people in the NPR. Dr. Mansell, I think that's his name, Carolyn's boss, doesn't want a big gathering. So Carolyn and I talked today about limiting it to 5 people. So I will be sending out an editable document today for you to put your name on for a half-hour session between 12 and 2 on Monday. You would just come into the NPR with your laptop and make sure you're wearing your mask. And I can help you out in any way possible. If I can't help you out, I'll try to find an answer for you. So that will be available to you as well. Any other questions? Thank you, Claire, for your input, and thank you, Shannon, also for showing us Seesaw.
Thank you, all of you. Appreciate it. And then you're going to put this, you recorded this. Are you going to send this to us?
Yes.
It up or whatever you're going to do?